Nugget coming at you today. Welcome to the stream. Today's going to be a special stream. I stream. I do a live stream every Tuesday at noon. So I just wanted to stay committed to that because you know what? Somebody would expect me to do that today, yesterday, and I'm not going to apologize if I get a little bit lathered up here. Okay, I'm a human speaking to you humans. And yeah, yesterday I had the chance to just hold my hand, hold my dad's hand as he went to heaven. And if any of you have had the chance to experience that, there are no words that this mouth can come up with to describe just the holy moment, the otherworldliness of watching somebody transition from this world into another that is going to be so much better than the yuck that this life can throw at you. And my pops had a lot of yuck, just a lot of physical ailments that stung him the last 10, 20 years of life. So my eyes are a little bit red, okay, and they're sore from the tears that are still real and still running. And like I said, I'm a tender nugget today, but I wanted you to see just an authentic, um, yeah, Dr. Joe, the authentic one. I hope you've always seen that, but I think there's an important message. I think to all uh, of your most important people in this world, and how that, if the word imprints comes to mind, how that imprints upon one's very life. Um, yeah. So let me talk to you about a man you did not know um, about courage, then that is different than anything whew, I have ever seen. Um, his name was Richard Richard Arthur Hill. So I bear his last name, and one of the last of the Hill-Heakin boys in terms, and that was important to him. He was kind of a family tree guy and wanted to make sure that the Hill family name continued. Important, maybe. I think it's important that we emulate the core values of the people that are most important to us. That's more important than anything else. But everybody called him Dick. And he was a hard man. Yeah. Um, I think by default, anybody named Dick, they have an excuse to kind of be a fighter. And my dad was a fighter. Yeah, he was a hard man. I've actually seen, I don't know how many of you had parents where you watched them get into fistfights, but not proud moments, but that was dad. He was a fighter, just an absolute fighter. So name your kid Dick, and you're gonna have a fighter on your hands. I guarantee you. But here's what you need to understand about, I think, hard people, hard men. I think they become hard in life because life demands hardness at times. And sometimes that hardness is exactly what whew, love, what love looks like. Hmm. Love is a fighting word, folks. It's not a squishy, never a squishy word. Core value of mine that I've adopted from my dad. Love. Love is a fighting word, and we fight for the best good of the other as other. I might have some siblings hopping on here to give some amens out there because they've been on the receiving end of that hard man fighting for them as well, and countless others, and we have a chance to share and celebrate that. Um, yeah, this coming Friday. So let me tell you about brave, because that's the other word. Sorry, got a little snot wipe break here. Let me just talk to you about brave, because that's the word that comes to mind. My beloved older sister, 2 years older than me, Kirsten Birgit, also Hill. She was born with an extra chromosome. Mhm. So she's extraordinary. She's absolutely extraordinary. Um, and back in 1967, the world told my dad that he needed to drop her off at the state institution because that was customary for kids that had an extra chromosome. Um, if you want to keep life kind of normal, Dick, they said, drop her off. Well, we got it. My dad absolutely flexed back and said, I'm not doing this. That's not going to happen. That was hard. And he was brave. hmm Another core, just a core memory. 72 Olds Cutlass. Olds Cutlass. I can still remember brown, just such an unattractive brown color. But my dad was the type of guy that would just go, "Yeah, that looks good enough. Functionally, it's probably good enough." But that 72 Olds Cutlass pulled in, hauling a U-Haul. Okay, dad lives in Minnesota. Lived in Minnesota. At the time, Kirsten and I lived in Arizona. And my dad pulled up in that 72 Olds Cutlass with a U-Haul on the back and said, I'm picking the kids up because there's better schools. Minnesota's pretty educationally friendly, still is to this day, state. And, you know, my boy needs good education, but my girl with the extra chromosome, the exceptional one, yeah, she needs a little extra support. So this is what I'm going to do. And I think that he also probably thought that the colder weather would just kind of firm us both up a little bit, right? It did. And that was hard. And that was brave. hmm I remember him. I was in third, fourth grade. He decided to build us. I came from the short, you get your lunch tickets in the short line. Okay. The short line was kind of that free and reduced lunch line. So I know, but I had everything that I wanted, but apparently I grew up kind of poor. Um, and dad was kind of sick and tired of just living in loaned houses. And he said, I'm going to build us our own. And I remember watching that man, and I've tried to do, I've tried to do some of this myself, doing some home repair projects. I remember watching that man pulling out 3/4 inch sheetrock out of the truck. For those that have ever done this work, sheetrock doesn't come one piece at a time. Okay. They're strapped together. Know what I mean? You gotta rip that stuff off. You know what I'm talking about? But 3/4 inch, that's not half inch. Okay. I'm not just talking about the width of this thing. I'm talking about the weight of this thing. The weight of this thing. Um, and the stuff that we were laying in the ceiling, that he was laying on the ceiling, best to come in 12 footers for those that have done sheetrock work because you don't have as many seams. So here's this dude lifting up 3/4 inch sheetrock, coming in clusters of two, pulling it out of the truck. The gymnastics just to kind of get the leverage point there, and then to walk up the steps to the house and hang that with the help of a few tools. But man, he did it himself, with his bare hands. That was hard. And it was brave. He wasn't doing it because I want a new home. He was doing it for the other. Yeah, that was hard, but it was brave. Here, leaders, I want you, I think to learn and know the characteristics of that hard man, courage, it's not the absence of fear. My dad was afraid of a lot of things. Mm-mm. It's not even doing the right thing when it's easy. Real courage, the kind my dad had, it's looking at an impossible situation and saying, "That's not gonna happen," when everybody else just expects you to quit. It's not gonna happen. Man, I'm so proud of my dad. So proud of my dad. It's working harder. I think it's working harder. It's sleeping hardly, right? It's not coming home and going, "I deserve," no, they deserve. So I'm gonna work harder. And I remembered him just sleeping on the floor at times to build something that matters. And I am the beneficiary of a lot that he built, internal core characteristics that matter. Mm, I hope this is hitting you. I hope this is hitting you good. It's really about reinventing yourself. My dad had the slats kicked out from underneath him so many times. Yeah. It meant that hardworking guy had to stop into the local Randy's Menswear, Salute, Central Minnesota, to buy a suit, okay? Because he had to reinvent himself in his deep 40s from the the businesses that he created. Yeah, it's wrestling those demons in private so your family doesn't have to. I have no idea how many rounds he he went with his demons. I saw plenty of them out in public, but it's the ones that I didn't see that I ultimately just respect him for. Yeah. So I for the last 20 years, my dad had an old flip phone. Okay, and it was clogged with voicemail. But his voicemail box was absolutely clogged, probably for the last 20 years, and the same message for 2 decades. If you called him today, I haven't done that yet, and I don't know if I have the courage yet to do that. You'd still get, I'm, come on, Joe, you can do this. You'd still get, "Hi, this is Dick. You know what to do next." Mm. And you know what he would say to me? You know what he would say to anybody that he deeply cared about? If you were in his inner circle and he wanted to share life's most meaningful and significant thing to him and would want to parlay that to you, two things. My dad was a hard man, a hard man. My dad was not a religious man. My dad rolled his own cigarettes, folks, and he drank himself silly for decades. Okay. But the last years of his life, knowing what he knows and experiencing what he has experienced, he would say these two things. You ready? Listen up. He would say, "Keep Jesus at the center of your life." And I'm not ashamed to say that. Because I know that it was true in that man's transformation. Keep Jesus at the center of your life, not religion. Okay? Study the person of Jesus and walk as Jesus did. My dad wasn't really into this Christianity thing, but he knew the characteristics of Jesus and wanted to walk with the same posture and that same attitude of service to fight for the other as I think I think Jesus was a fighter and a tough man too. Okay? So that's one thing. Keep Jesus as the center of your life. The other thing, pretty practical. Don't spend beyond your means. That that's as probably just stripped down, like, here's my dad's character right here in front of you, okay? Keep Jesus as the center of your life. and don't spend beyond your means. Okay. I hope that hit you well. That's it. Here endeth the dick lesson, right? But here's really what I want you to take from this. You have faced hard things. I have faced hard things. Guess what? We're not done. It's an infinity loop till the last breath that we take. And whew, what an honor it was to see Pops just that last exhale, which said, he just said, I'm done. You're going to face hard things. He faced hard things. Things that will require you to be brave in ways that you didn't know you could be. Trust that. Things will demand that you flex back when the world expects you to fold and quit. When that moment comes, and it will come, folks, and it will come, I promise you. Remember, there was an I in Dick, but there wasn't that selfish I, okay? And there's an I in your name too. I am brave. I can do hard things. I am responsible. I am reliable. I am no longer bound by what others expect. So, friends, my dad was a hard man, and yesterday was a hard day. Today, might be even harder, but he was brave. He did hard things because someone had to step into that ring and do it. He was not an abdicator. And he taught me that sometimes the most courageous things that you can do is simply show up, carry the weight, and refuse to quit when quitting would be so much easier. hmm So, leaders, be hard when you need to be hard, but always remember, be brave. Be brave and courageous. Thanks for letting me share just a little bit of my pops with you today, folks. Peace and